So if you're struggling to make your first 1,000 online selling digital products or ebooks, then this video is going to be for you. Okay, so this is my psychological trick that makes people buy $7 ebooks without thinking twice. Now, I've sold over 150,000 dollars and over 10,000 copies of digital products online. So I'm one of the few that's qualified in this space to speak about this. So I'm going to show you exactly what the thinking behind it is. So the reason people buy $7 ebooks pretty much has nothing to do with the price, and it has everything to do with the psychology. And once you understand this, your digital products will become easier to sell ethically. Okay, so the real psychological lever here is principle. It's the principle of low friction beats high persuasion. Now, what do I mean by that? So, at $7, the risk feels tiny, the commitment feels small, and the regret feels unlikely. People hate making or people hate regretting things in life, and they hate walking away from something whereby they feel stupid. So we want to avoid, by stupid I mean they feel like they made a mistake. So we want them to avoid that. And the brain doesn't active it, we don't want the brain to go into defense mode. So when we keep the risk low, the decision becomes emotional and it's not analytical, and they don't feel like they're going to miss out on a lot. So it's not really the price, it's the clarity, right? So a messy $7 offer won't sell, but a clear $7 offer will. And the way we do that is, what makes someone buy quickly isn't the cheapness, because most people would pretty much admit that if they had the cure, if someone's got cancer and they had the cure for cancer, right, they could buy the cure for cancer. They would buy pretty much at any price point, 100,000, 500,000. If they had the money, pretty much most people are going to pay for the cure for cancer. Why? Because the value that they'll get for money is beyond, right? So the cost of something isn't everything. Okay, it's a question of, does this solve my problem right now? And the more clear, clarity reduces hesitation. So the more clear you are, the more sales you're going to make. Now, that leads us on to the next step of micro commitment psychology, right? That's another layer. So when someone buys, so think about yourself. When you buy something small, you feel momentum, you feel the progress, you feel invested. That small yes, it just changes your identity, because you think, wow, like I'm actually doing something now. I'm actually making, I'm taking the right steps in the right direction. And we go from thinking, I'm just thinking about this, to no, I'm now doing this. And that's powerful. And that alone, whether we want our ebooks to solve a problem. But even if someone's trying to, say they buy your ebook, which is about weight loss, and say they don't manage to actually achieve weight loss directly through your book, them just thinking and going from thinking about it to doing it, that's powerful, because you have made someone get up off of their couch and take the steps to changing their lives. Okay, and that's powerful enough. That's motivation. You've been motivated and inspired someone to take the first step, and that's powerful. Okay, so the $7 sweet spot, I call it, is it sits between, it's not free, but it's not expensive. And you have to be mindful about giving away everything for free online nowadays, because us as human beings, we don't value free. When we receive something for free, we take it for granted, because there was no upfront investment. We're not invested in that product because we didn't lose anything. We didn't lose our time. We didn't lose any money. We're not invested in that. And that's why sometimes you have to price your products higher, even though you can make and run your business on maybe selling something for $100, right? Sometimes it's worth charging $997, because the upfront investment is more, which means that you're going to make people invest in the product. So they're likely to follow through. If there's no investment, there's no follow through, right? If the barrier to entry is too low, then people will just pull out and escape very easily. And there's a story, super quick story, is in World War II, when I think the British was invading and got to Normandy, they burned all of their boats once they got to the enemy's land, because they didn't want the opportunity to retreat. They knew by burning their boats they wouldn't be able to retreat, which meant that the commander had them only thinking forward. They could only move forward and attack. And that's what we want. We want to burn our boats, we want our clients and our customers to burn their boats so that it stops them from retreating, which means the only way forward is taking action and succeeding, right? And if you can get your client to do that, you, you've won. You've won and they've won, right? So most people get this wrong though. This is why most people get this wrong. Most beginners, they try to start with high ticket, they build these massive courses, they charge these premiums before validation. And don't get me wrong, it's good to have a high ticket offer because that's where the bulk of your money is, and that's how freedom is really gonna, that's how you're gonna become free from your digital product business. However, in the beginning, it's about creating these small promises, these clear outcomes, and a low barrier. Let the trust compound, and through emails and through them sending you DMs and by jumping on a phone with them. Right, just by getting a $7 ebook, the income doesn't stop there. That's just an introduction for them to get to know who you are, right? And then through emails and DMs and jumping on phone calls with them, you can sell them, and you will sell them your higher ticket offers, right? And this, coming from an ethical point, this only kind of works long term if the product delivers. And that's why it's so important that you solve one issue, right? Don't sell motivation, don't sell inspiration, because those things aren't tangible. But if I said to you, okay, how to get your first 5,000 TikTok followers in 30 days, right? That's a real tangible thing. Or how to get 100 views on YouTube in 30 days. That's a real tangible thing. Someone can finish reading your ebook and go, okay, cool, this is how I get that. And then they can judge you on that deliverable. Okay. So if someone buys your $7 guide and it genuinely helps them, they're gonna trust you more, right? They're gonna just trust you more. And that's how we build, that's how I was able to, turn my small digital assets into a larger ecosystem that then allows them to, we can sell and upsell our clients and help them even further. So ultimately, like, the real trick isn't persuasion. We're not trying to pull no Jedi mind tricks. It's just having a making, understanding the problem, making the problem clear, making the solution simple, and then making the risk tiny through these $7 ebooks. And that's it. Remove friction, remove confusion, remove hesitation. So the calm takeaway that I want you to take away today is, if you want people to buy without overthinking, don't push harder. Make it clearer, make it smaller, and psychology works best when it's aligned with just usefulness ultimately, right? So if you haven't made your first 1,000 online, $1,000 online, and you would like to, tap the link in my bio to download my free guide and join the challenge, 1K in 30 days. However, if you have, and you kind of, but you're kind of struggling to make consistent sales, then tap the link in my bio to join the Digital Wealth Academy. Now, this is an absolutely incredible place for digital marketers, or even if you're a small business owner, if you want to grow, if you want to grow online, you're going to have to learn some skills pay the bills, right? And if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to learn digital marketing. There's no way around it. You're going to have to either hire someone that knows digital marketing, or you yourself is going to have to learn digital marketing. And I'm more of a fan of learning the skill myself. I would much recommend you learn the skill yourself, because people could take away your income, they could take away your status, they could take away your car, but one thing they can't ever take away is your mind and your skills. And once you learn the skill, you will be able to apply this skill for the rest of your life. Because let's face it, marketing is a high income skill. Marketing is a high income skill which pays bucks. I believe I read recently that marketing sales and marketing are one of the highest paid jobs in the world. So don't sniff at what you're learning here. Don't look down on what you're learning here. Marketing pays big bucks. I believe Bob Iger, the Disney director or whatever, he got paid. I believe he got paid 35 million last year. Why? Because he made the company 2 billion, right? That's why marketers and salespeople get paid the big bucks, because they make the company money. So if you're earning 2 billion, what's 15 million to 2 billion? It's not a lot. That's why you get paid that, right? So I hope you got value in this video. I hope you got a lot of value in this video. I know every time I teach this concept, I do, and that was the psychological tricks that make people buy $7 ebooks without thinking twice. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.